Hello. There it is. Now, welcome to the Paranormal Activity. I'm Sarah, and this is
Nick.
Hey. So welcome to the show, you guys. We're going to talk today about let's talk about some movies. I saw a couple of movies that were stinky.
Uh-oh.
I saw a couple of stinkers. Um,
Okay.
and then but let's talk to you. What have you seen this week?
So I saw something new that came out and something that had been out for a while. And I'll start with the thing that had been out for a while. Making sure I have the yeah, yeah. It was Neon Demon. Have you heard of
Oh,
that
neat.
one?
I've heard
The
of it. I
Nick
didn't see it.
the Nicholas Winding Refn. He did Drive and all that,
Mhm.
and Only God Forgives. Yeah, because he did Drive, Only God Forgives, and I think he did this one after. So I had never seen it. I remember I loved Drive when it came out, and then he kind of got like he didn't write that script, but he directed it, and it was credible. And then after that, the studios were like, do whatever you want. And I remember they were like, oh, his stuff's gotten weird, and I don't know. And so I watched Only God Forgives, and it's strange, but I was like, okay. But I watched Neon Demon. I had heard a lot about it. It's recommended a lot in the horror community. I really liked it. I really, really liked it. It's gorgeous. It's it's well acted. It's weird. There's like kind of body horror. It's strange. It kind of ends and it doesn't tell you a lot. You just gotta kind of know, figure it out. I don't know. I really liked it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I remember seeing stuff about this, and this just came up for me again. It popped up as like a you should see this movie, and I maybe I'll do that tonight because it does look good, and it's what's the like story? What's
It's
the
just the Ellie Fanning is this very new woman to Los Angeles, and she's like wants to be a model,
Mhm.
and like immediately starts doing great because people are just so entranced by her beauty. Like it's so like, and then she gets into that world, and it's pretty kooky crazy. I'll just say that much. But yeah, and she just like meets these people, and it's just kind of like it's about how people treat young women and models and that in that industry and how fucked up it is and all that stuff. Yeah, but it's real crazy. And I liked it, and Keanu Reeves is in it. um
I didn't know that.
yeah, and Christina Hendricks is like in it for a hot second.
Love her.
um but like Keanu Reeves is in it quite a bit. And the lead actresses are all great. Jenna Malone and Ela Fanning, and the other two are great. Bella Heathcote and what's her name? She's great. They're all great. But yeah, it's really good. Highly recommend it. Oh, and then my other one was The Monkey.
Oh, that's odd. I don't remember locking this.
You wouldn't happen to remember if my aunt had a wind-up toy monkey at the yard sale?
Oh, not a cherished childhood memory now, was it?
No, 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 no! The coroner said it was an accident, but it was no accident. It was a monkey.
It's not, and what's good is I can talk a lot about it without like spoiling anything because it's not a spoilery movie. It's not like don't know anything. It's yeah, so it's based off of a Stephen King short story that James Wan produced, and then Osgood Perkins, who did Longlegs, directed. And Theo James is in it, and it's really, really good. I really, I was happy about it too because like Longlegs, I think is good. I was personally a little disappointed, but I think that's on me, and I think that happened to a lot of people where we overhyped it and we were like,
Mhm.
"This is gonna blow us away," and then it was like good, and I think it's just the marketing was too good almost, and then
Yeah.
so it just didn't quite live up to what I wanted. But I acknowledge it's good, and there's a lot of good stuff in it. But I really liked this one. It's very dark humor, very, 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 very dark humor, which I loved. But it's super funny, and he really goes into that, and it was great. And I rewatched it last night because I saw a sneak peek last week, and then I already had these tickets, so I went to go see it again, and I was kind of watching it to see if what's his style that he kind of moved in from Longlegs, because he's kind of new. He's been around for a while, but like I mean, he's Anthony Perkins' son. He just to see what's his thing because they seem like very different movies in a
Mhm.
way. Well, they are, but he didn't carbon copy, which was nice. But it's very good. It's very funny. It's gory in a very funny way. It's kind of got this Final Destination feel to it in a very, very, very good way. And I'm very excited because last night when I went, I bought
Da,
the
da, da,
popcorn
da.
bucket. Yeah.
I love it.
I'm so happy about this. Don't let this one fall because that's if you watch the movie, you'll know why. Um, yeah, it's super fun, super stupid. And it was funny because I had it right next to me and there was an open chair and then like two women sat right there and I really wanted to like prop it up and just like have it face them, but I was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like just because it was just there because it's this big thing and I had an empty chair, so I was like, oh perfect, I'll put it there. I don't want to put it on
Yeah.
the floor so I can recline. But I was like, what if I just placed it up and just didn't do anything and just let them yeah. But I was like, no, I won't do that. But it was super fun. The audience I saw it with both times was great, super in it. They reacted at different times, which was really cool to see and hear and be a part of. 10/10, highly recommend it. So much fun.
I didn't really like, again, I have not been good at watching movies. I watched, like I'm getting a lot of people on my like Instagram recommending movies, you know what I mean? Where I was like, oh, this is a movie I never heard of, and this person knows more better than I do. Let me like check it out. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, come on. Like
Yeah, I've
they're
been
on,
burned like that. I've been burned like that. Yeah.
it's like it's people who I think it's people who are just like sponsored by Tubi who are like just like, you're not gonna believe the ending. And it's like I believe that ending. But I watched Honeydew, which you might like it. Didn't I didn't care for it. It was way too slow. It's definitely body horror.
It's on Tubi.
It's on Tubi. I believe it's a Tubi or Movie. It's one of those.
Oh, that does remind me. I saw something else on Tubi. We'll talk about it afterwards, but just reminded me something. Honeydew. Okay, so yeah, so tell me about it. Sorry, I'm just looking it
Yeah,
up.
so it's I mean it's I really like I mean the beginning is really cool and really made like a lot of promises to it with it like it had like a very cool like there was like a retro finish over everything and there were kind of
Hmm.
like cool edits and it made it feel a little bit like it was a weird kind of retro analog sort of thing. There were like little because it's about like this town where um the like there's a something happens to the wheat and it goes there's like a mold in the wheat and it's like the
Okay.
honeydew mold. This is not a spoiler. This is you learn this at the beginning. So it's like um so it's about like how all like the wheat like goes bad or it like if you eat it it does something to your brain. And so there's like all these educational slides, and it looked really. I mean, the look of it was very, very cool. And then then these it's like these two people are driving through this town, and they end up kind of getting stranded, and that's like the story. Um, and it was. Uh, I should look. I mean, I should have looked it up. I don't think that it's not. Oh, you know what it is? You know who stars in it is Steven Spielberg's son. Sawyer Spielberg is the male lead.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
That's I wonder what that's like to be like I wonder if he was like, "Dad, don't give me any handouts. I'm gonna do it my own," or if his dad was like, "You got to work your own,"
yeah.
and then he got Honeydew. Hey, which no shame, I would love to be in any kind of horror film.
Oh, totally, totally,
I
totally.
would take any horror film to be in. But that's just such an interesting bit of fact that when you're on set and everybody's like, "That's Steven Spielberg's son."
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's not like that's something I could have because I looked him up at the end and I was like, oh, because I would never have guessed that in a million years. Um, and Lena Dunham shows up at the end.
What?
So I was like, is that Lena Dunham? Absolutely Lena Dunham.
Oh my God.
Um, but it's a lot of it's Southern Gothic, a lot of like old religion over on like how there's always they feel like that's like sort of a maybe like a lesser trope of like the person like preaching, but you can hear it like it's either on like a record player or on
Hmm.
like an old reel to reel where it's like, and the Lord said, and it's like sort of creepy, that sort of like
Hmm.
small town revival thing. So that was throughout. Um, and yeah, I feel like it was a very good idea. It's just like they took a very small idea and they stretched it out over the whole movie. So it was like, like this old lady would come to like bring them their dinner and it would like you'd watch her like from one room into another room carrying the plate
Yeah.
the whole time. And it's like, I feel like it was done in order to create tension, but it was really just like, what?
Yeah. Well, I was looking it up because it said it came out in 2020 and it's 2 hours long.
Oh,
So I'm guessing it's one of those films that's like it's 2 hours long, but it probably could have been like an hour 30, hour 40.
yeah. I mean, it needed like it just needed another pass
Hmm.
by the editors. But I will say, like, I don't want to shit on it too much because, like, obviously, like my goal in doing this is never to like, because
Yeah,
I want
yeah, yeah.
people, if you're interested in it, to go watch it, and
Yeah.
I want to support artists, obviously. Sawyer
Right.
Spielberg doesn't need my support,
Yeah, yeah. So Spielberg really needs our help.
but
Yeah.
but at the same time, it was like, if you there, I'll just say body horror and I'll leave it at
Yeah.
that. Um, and it is the the cinematography is great. There are parts of it that are really good. It was just like it it what I think what was supposed to create tension and dread was just like, I just got up and started like cleaning. Like, it was one of those things
Yeah.
where I'm just like, this isn't like, if I'm not really like drawn in, I don't know.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but
I'm
yeah,
curious though. I'm curious. I'll probably check it out. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I feel like there are good things on there. I'm starting to like. I keep, I keep a list of things, like, because I always feel like I'm completely out of the loop. There's no like all of the horror movies that come out.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to keep track of things, and a lot of things are like coming new this year, and it's just like streaming, coming
Hmm.
new to Tubi, it's just streaming, and it was made in, a million years ago, so it's not a new movie. And then what else did I watch? I watched The Gorge, which is not really horror, but I feel like there's a section of it that's horror.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was fun. It was fun. I think it tried to be like four different movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I
It tried to
forgot I
make too
saw
many
that
people
one too.
happy.
Yeah.
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 It was like a romance, which was nice, but then it was action, which was good. And then it was like the horror part was the only part I really was like, can't we just hang out down here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get,
Well,
get into the gorge.
get in that
Get
gorge.
in that gorge.
Get in that gorge already. Um. Yeah. That's the thing is that like I agree with a lot of that. Like it starts off cute and fun, and they have their little thing, and you get a little bit of their backstory, and they fall for each other right away, and that was interesting, which is like good setup. But then, yeah, it's like it has such action elements to it, and then also like horror, so it's really balancing a bunch of the stuff of the genres. Um, and then the reveal was a little bit of a letdown. Like the why of everything was a little bit like I don't know. I was hoping for something. It was okay. It was fine. I was hoping
Yeah.
for something a little more interesting. And I think but overall, it was fine. It was fine. I was entertained at times. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the reveal was similar. I have a similar issue with Cabin in the Woods. I feel like everybody loves
Oh,
Cabin in the Woods, and that's the problem that I have with it, is that it's not like real. That it's
yeah,
like puppets, like human. If it's human beings, I don't care.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I want something like scary. I want like
yeah,
real horror. I want like an old, like, epic,
yeah.
ancient.
You want some forces, evil forces behind it that are doing
There,
it. Yeah.
there were two. So the two things that this is probably obvious, but there were two, like the two like they were Easter eggs or whatever. But there was they played chess and then they were drumming.
And he
But I
was
think
in the west, and she was in
those
the
are just
east.
like in the movie that
Yeah,
before they cast them.
I
Which,
think so too. Because I think I saw something where she was like, "Oh, get over the whole chess scene" or something. Because I think they were like, "No, no, it's not anything." Like, yes, I was in Queen's Gambit, but like, let's move on from that or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah. But yeah, I think that was funny. I forgot about that.
There was also it also reminded me, there's like this thing that this came up because we watched Baby Girl over the weekend too, and it came up
Oh,
in
that's
that.
a horror in its own little way. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's very entertaining. Yeah.
But there's the thing where of like when an actor, like when a character has to just like dance like
Hmm.
sexy to someone and it's just
Oh,
them,
yeah.
there's something so like, we don't have to it's not that big of a deal, but I just like, there's something
Okay, right.
so awkward to me about just watching somebody just like, because it's like, I don't know if they play music
Yeah.
and
Or what they're doing. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
are they listening to something? Or are they like, okay, dance now? Like, because we don't know what song we're gonna put there, what rights we're gonna get to.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
yeah,
just like move your shoulders a little bit, and then it's like trying to be sexy, and it's like, come on. And there's something that I cringe. You get like the secondhand cringe.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
There's no, I mean, she did a beautiful job, and
yeah,
Baby Girl Daddy did a
Oh, I was gonna say
Very
that
good.
that whole scene is great, and then it has George Michael's father figure. I was like,
Oh,
this whole moment, that soundtrack is so good, and every time they play something like that, like especially the '80s hits, but they like there was just times where I was like, yes,
yes.
yes.
Oh, yes, that movie.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. Baby
Yeah.
Girl's
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, the Gorge, yeah, that whole section of them like let's dance together and like let's play music. That whole thing, I was a little bit like that's when I got up to like clean sort
Yeah.
of like do stuff because I was like, and I like rom coms, but I don't know something about that one. I was like, this feels like a little, and not on them. I think the actors did well. I
Yeah.
think in the script it feels like we got to show these two are in love quickly. So it's
Yeah.
like she dances, he plays this, now and it's very like goofy, silly stuff, very quickly and truncated. So it just felt like yeah, like secondhand cringe. Yeah, so I get you.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, again, they did a good job, and they do have to like sort of press the fast forward button on like
Oh yeah,
a blossoming love affair. But yeah, there's something to it about like, yeah, it's just like a trying on clothes montage.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Try not close my tongue.
just
Yeah,
buy the hat. We get it. Just show
yeah.
it.
You're gonna get the hat.
And I think that is all I watched as far as movies go.
Oh, can I tell you about
Oh,
that other Tubi movie I saw?
oh yeah.
I got so duped into watching the stupid film. I would say watch it, but like fast forward to the one scene just so you see it.
Sure.
So I saw because I follow a lot of like horror stuff on TikTok and Instagram, and I saw one, and it was a scene that was really crazy, and I was like, "What movie is this?" And it showed it, and I was like, "Where is this?" And it was on Tubi and Prime, and I think I watched it on Prime because Tubi was being weird. But usually Tubi's great. Um, but I watched it and it's like an hour and 20 minutes of a movie, hour and 25, but it has like one idea for a kill scene and it basically stretches out the whole film for that one part. Um and it's just like it's called AquaSlash and it's like and the idea is fun. It's like what if there's a slasher in a water amusement park? Okay, cool. I'm here for it, but it's like it there's like a kill at the beginning and then it goes on and there's you're seeing all these characters and it's all these like high school kids coming to party for the weekend or college kids. They're drinking like crazy, like nobody cares, they're just drinking and partying, but there's some kind of school and they're taking over for the weekend, and the two owners are like married but they're like not working out, and all of their all of their problems are on display. The one guy, the owner, is like actively fooling around with one of the students, college or high school, I don't know, and just giving them drugs. And then so the other girl, the wife, like in retaliation, fucks one of the other students and like a thing. And it's but they're literally arguing while they're trying to like it's like if the somebody owned a water park with their significant other, host this party for the weekend every all the time, and then while they showed up, they just gave the kids booze and drugs and actively slept with them and just out loud was talking about their issues and problems in front of everybody. Like that's most of the movie. It's so weird. And then it's just and then there's like a one of the guys that works there is with the other girls and there's this whole thing and there's two nerd guys like the one I don't know. It's a band. One of them is a band.
Uh-huh.
Um but the thing that they're leading up to is the killer puts like, you know, the sliding tubes that you go down,
Hmm.
there's like a race for everybody to go down and you go down in groups of three and there's like three different tubes and in one of them they put a knife this way, a knife that way, so when you go through it like chops off, so it's this thing of people going through and getting chopped up and then people keep going down and all this, but and they for the longest time they're just showing the same scene over and over again or just the same body parts going through like to the point of not enough of the of people have gone through for that to be the body parts to go through. But they just extended that scene. That's why I say just watch the film if you want to see this hilarious. Just I don't how they what they wrote.
Yeah.
And then but if you get bored, just start fast forwarding and just cut to like right before that one section of like the couple screaming at each other and getting weird about how they're gonna go up there, and then how they have to have these kids go down, and then when people just start getting sliced up, it's like towards the end. Watch like the last like 30-20 minutes of it.
That is scary.
It's ridiculous, and then the reveal and it's just so like, oh yeah, sure, it's like yeah, this is the killer the whole time, with like a smile into the like it's like something happens and it's like, oh, are you? And then they just kind of look into the camera. Smile. It's really weird. It's really goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of hits like that, and I was just laughing. I was like, what is this? AquaSlash, it's delightful.
Yeah.
It does. There's points if you get like a little bored. Again, it's like an hour and 20, 25. If you do get bored, get up, do something. You'll be fine. You're not gonna miss anything. Just make sure you get to that one. Just make sure you get to that one part. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Action Park the movie.
Yeah, yeah. It's like actually with the movie, but like a slash. Yeah,
And
it's
they made it.
hilarious.
It's such a miss to not call it like Slash and Splash.
Oh, Slash and Splash is so much better than AquaSlash.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was. I was like, there's got to be a better name. Slash and Splash. See, there you go.
Aqua Splash sounds like a toothbrush.
A toothbrush or something, or some kind of thing you put in your hair or body wash. Yeah, no.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. You want to do one missed call real quick, and then
let's talk about one missed call.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, so we
You see
were
that?
we talked about assigning movies together to
Yeah.
each other, and then you were like, well, we both haven't seen this film, and it's been coming up a lot for me. I don't know if it's for you. Like, it feels like there's some kind of resurgence, or people are talking about it. And we're talking about the remake, the American remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starring Ed Burns and Sharon Sossamon.
Yeah, exactly. And a slew of other.
I'm gonna say like the first thing. So here, I will say overall, I think I have seen worse movies.
Yeah.
I've seen worse movies. So
Yeah.
it has a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. That's kind of why I brought it up, is it has a zero rating from reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes. But I have seen there are worse movies. I mean, that last one we watched about the people in the snow.
Get it just how you like it. Extra marshmallows. Thanks, Mom.
That was not good. Remember the one?
Oh yeah, that one was. Oh, I forgot the name. Yes,
Yeah,
I know what
I
you're talking
deleted
about.
program on that one.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, that one was. Yeah. I'll say one missed call was more entertaining than that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But I will say, one was called. There were entertaining moments, and the kills were hilarious. I laughed. The first kill, I laughed out loud because it's the girl. The woman is in the koi pond, and she's like looking into the water, and then it's just like hand grab,
Yeah.
like a giant man's hand just grabs her, and then the cat's sitting there, and then the man's hand goes.
Just grabs the cat too. Like, that was unfair that it grabbed the cat, because the cat wasn't part of this whole curse. Why'd you go for the cat?
The cat doesn't have a phone.
Yeah, the cat didn't get a message or anything about it hearing its death. That was unfair. Yeah, that was so, and that's Megan Good. And I remember around this time she was like, I thought, pretty popular. So I think they were trying to do like a Scream thing where they were like, oh, it's Megan Good, she's dead. But I was like, she's Megan Good, and she's big around this time, like, but she's not Drew Barrymore of like, hey, Drew Barrymore's in the movie. Just kidding. So I thought that was wacky. But yeah, that handout and then taking the cat, I was like, here we go. Here, we're in for.
Also, when you look at the hand and then you know at the end who is doing the killing,
Yeah, that makes sense.
it's like a little fucking 8-year-old. It's like,
It should be a child hand, a little child hand. Yeah, just pulling him through. Yeah.
oh my god. But yeah, the kills were just like, just the thing. Whenever somebody like takes 3 steps back in a street, like, you know it's gonna happen, and it happens, and it's hilarious. But this one, he didn't get hit by a car. It was like there was an explosion,
and then a wrought iron like went through his chest.
Sure.
That was the thing about the kills in it, was at times it felt like when the hand comes out and pulls her, I was like, oh, this is like The Grudge or The Ring.
Right.
And then when she's like walking, the second kill didn't really make sense to me. She was on a bridge and she kind of saw something, but then the door opened and she fell over into the train. But I was like, I feel like all of this was super avoidable, so I'm not quite sure what happened to you that caused you to fall on this train. It was very weird. And she's just like, yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, and I was like, I don't know what's happening.
She's dialing.
Yeah, it was either thing. Yeah, she's like that. That was kind of cool when it just starts dialing. Her dead body starts dialing. I was like, okay. But it was so weird. I like how they just had those random like teenagers walking by so they could get splattered with blood and see the carnage. And then you had the guy who he dies by. That was like very Final Destination to me. That felt
Mhm.
like a very crazy like that. And then there was the other woman that in The Exorcist,
Yeah.
a thing just comes out straight up and chokes her.
Yeah.
Because it felt like are these sometimes they were accidents and then sometimes they were a ghost.
Yeah.
And so it was so inconsistent with the kills that it was very goofy and all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the other thing too about the cop at the end. He's like looking through the peephole. He's looking through the peephole and he gets a knife in the peephole. So the little tiny 8-year-old girl is like with a knife, like
Just stabbed him. He didn't get a call or anything. He just got stabbed because he was in the way.
yeah.
And then it ends with just the mom coming in and be like, "I'm gonna stop this one because I like you." But then because it keeps going afterwards because what she stops the little girl, the mom, ghost mom, comes and is like, "Oh, I stopped. Like, don't kill her," and gets her out of there. And then just kind of looks back at the woman and is kind of like, "Kids, am I right?" And then leaves. And then and then she's like, "Okay," but then like Ed Burns or somebody's phone starts dialing, and
Yeah.
so the curse is still going. The mom just saved her. And
Yeah.
I was like, what? And again, it
Yeah.
was just kind of like, nope, sorry about this. My daughter's a handful as a ghost. It was so weird.
So dumb. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's like the thing is like, oh, well, she was like, she went through this abuse as a child, so and I care about kids who have been through things, so I'm gonna take care of this one person. Everybody else can fuck the fuck off.
Everybody, you're fucked. You're dead. Either
You're
way.
dead.
Yeah. And it was like the crazy thing too, because like that one, the evil daughter that became the ghost was abusing her little sister, but also had asthma. And then when she took the little sister to the hospital because she was a nurse, the evil one had an asthma attack, and it was like so much like on top of each other.
Yeah.
There was a scene too that I don't know why it cracked me up, and I kept making all these jokes to myself. Was when she's in the taxi cab, the main actress. What's her name again?
Sharon Sassamone.
Sassamone. I know. I loved her. She's amazing. She's in
Yeah.
40 Days and 40 Nights. She's in
Yeah.
Knight's Tale. She's in a bunch of stuff back then. She's great. She's she's in the taxi cab driver, and she's there. And I love that she does the thing that you rarely see in movies when people are having a conversation like that in public of like, yeah, we got to stop this monster, this demon. She's like, we got to stop this ghost that's in the phone.
She is still inside, and her spirit's there, moving through the phones, attacking people.
Okay.
Like, and then they cut to the taxi driver and he's kind of like, huh? And I've never seen them like have that interaction in a movie where they say the weird thing and they realize like they can't say it out loud, but the person's kind of like, the fuck? But I just love that she's like, we got to stop this ghost that's in the phone. And the taxi driver is just like, what did you just say? And then he like pulls up and he goes, here you are. And it's this abandoned church hospital thing. And I just like was like, I want to make a whole movie, a story, something about that taxi driver, just about him that day, just being like, huh? And then he takes her to an abandoned building, just like what his like an Uber driver that had to do that.
That he only drops people off at like haunted locales.
Yeah, and he's always hearing them talk about stuff. This ghost in the phone, ghost in the phone,
ghost in the phone. One thing I did appreciate is that they caught on to the premise very quickly.
Yeah.
Like characters caught on. It was like
they knew immediately.
In a couple days, they were like, "Oh, okay, this is phone calls, and then people die." This is because normally it's like the audience gets it, and then you're just sort of like waiting for them to like figure it out. And it's like, all right, come on. But that was one thing I appreciated, and also when it was also just like such a like blast from the past that they're like, "Oh, we got to figure out what's going on." And so the cop is like, I'm going to go here. And she's like, I'm going to go to the library. I forgot that was a thing. But that's absolutely, it was like the most Buffy thing in the world that like, I like, let me just click.
Let me look this up.
Yeah. And all those results
research
for St. Luke's Hospital.
Yeah, exactly. It was ridiculous. It was also like a lot. Because I think it would rush through the kills and the thing, and then they'd be like, now we just got to sit around and talk about this for a while. Mm-hmm. And I felt like they needed to like let things happen more sparsely because I felt like there was so many kills up top, and then it was like now this long drawn out like what's going on? Let's solve this weird crime, and then of course it's not what we think it is, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy.
Uh, yeah, yeah. The original, which I it did create like it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't like spectacular, but it did a much better job of like the like quiet and like the dark,
Hmm.
and it was much more it just had that J horror thing. I will say, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but the guy who played Brian, the kid who played Brian, like the Brian character kind of bothered me.
Which one was Brian again?
He was just the guy who got the rebar through the.
Oh yeah, which at the beginning of the movie was like ogling that one woman,
Yeah,
and then she was like, "You're just ogling her because you need to get over the other
yeah,
woman that was a roommate and that
yeah,
immediately died." And I don't know. His whole thing was I was like, "What is your deal, pal?" Yeah.
yeah. They were, yeah. And also just that they were making like a lovely like Italian meal at like a college
At a
party.
party, yeah. Oh, at a full blown party, and there's just everybody hanging out, and she's like, "I'm gonna," and I was like, "Who's this for?" Like, you're not gonna. Did you make enough for everyone at this party? Yeah, that
Like,
made no sense.
they're making this like lunch salad.
Yeah, she's like, all right, everybody, I know you're doing Molly up there, and some of you smoking weed, and you're pretty drunk doing keg stands, but I made a full course Italian meal. I have salad. I have a full house salad. I made
Let's
this
go
all myself.
crazy. People are like
Yeah,
barfing.
yeah. It's like, what are you doing? And he's just helping her, and he's just staring at that woman. The way he's just like staring at her, and she's not noticing. So there's not like a cute like her looking at him and kind of being like, oh, we're flirting. He's just staring at her. And then he's like, all right, I guess I'll help you make this salad. I was like, yeah, go make the salad, guy. Chill
No,
out.
there's never been a salad at a college party
No.
ever.
And a salad, that's the thing. She's not like, hey, I'm heating up pizzas or I'm making some snacks to put out. She's like, this is a sit down. We have to chop up things.
Yeah,
And
whoever
like
directed this has never been like
yeah,
they're like it's a
college
dinner
party.
party.
Yeah, it's a college party. We've all been to college parties. They'll be doing the ceremonial giant dinner that we all have.
Beef
Yeah.
bourguignon.
Yeah, people, yeah, yeah, that we make for everybody. Yes, I've been to a college party before. Yeah, I was crazy. I was part of fraternities. I made all the big dinners. Yeah.
Um, but so the actor though is he was on in Sons of Anarchy, and he ha was like in a motorcycle accident like this is after this movie, in a motorcycle accident, and he had like a brain injury. I think is kind of what is between the lines, but he started like kind of acting erratically. And then he went to jail for a while, and when he got out of jail in like 2012, he went home and bludgeoned his landlady to death, and then fell off the roof and died.
This was well because he did this film and then he eventually did Sons
Yeah,
of Anarchy and everything. Okay, yes, I remember hearing about this when it happened and then how they were like he got into an accident so it messed him up and then he bludgeoned somebody. That was him. I didn't even.
that was
Wow.
him. Oh, he also killed her cat, but I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's sad.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew I kept looking at him and I was like, where have I seen him before? And I looked up his IMDb and I was like, yeah, I probably saw some, but I was like, I still don't understand. And that's where he
Yeah.
probably popped up because he was like, yeah,
That was
that's
so that was two
crazy.
two like when you look things up afterwards and get a little,
Yeah.
oh,
No, interesting.
interesting. So do you have any, are you watching anything? Are you looking forward to anything coming up?
There's a bunch of stuff coming out that I can't remember off the top of my head. I mean, Yellow Jackets is out right now, which is a
Mhm.
horror in its own right, and I was happy about the monkey. There's a bunch of horror movies that are coming out that I'm very excited for. I can't think of them right now, but
Do you want me to just talk through some real quick?
oh yeah, go
Yeah,
through.
like
Yeah,
I was gonna not do this, but let me like
yeah.
I'll read my little list off.
What's the list?
Um, 825 Forest Road does not
Hmm.
have a release date, so this might end up just streaming. But
Yeah.
it's like it sounds like Chuck Wilson hopes to start a new life after a family tragedy when he moves to the town of Ashland Falls with his wife Maria and her sister Elizabeth. But he quickly discovers the town has a dark secret. This is just the only reason I bring it up. I couldn't find a trailer for it, but
Hmm.
it's from the people who made Hell House LLC,
Ooh,
which I
okay. Yeah,
liked
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. They're great. I've
Yeah.
seen the first two. I still need to see the third one and then the most recent one, which is like a prequel.
Hmm.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah,
great.
I would like to see the prequel. I haven't watched that one yet.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm going to keep that up, and I'll
Okay.
keep an eye on a release date if that comes up. Screamboat is I
Oh, it's like Steamboat Willie, but
yeah,
it's with yeah, and I think the guy who plays Art the Clown is gonna play the evil. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, late night boat ride and New York City becomes a struggle for survival when a seemingly harmless mouse transforms into a dangerous monster. That's cool. That's coming out in April.
Yeah, because it's part of that. All those companies got the IPs like Winnie the Pooh and all that
Yeah,
stuff. So they've made like Winnie the Pooh horror movies, and they're making all these like yeah.
yeah. Sinners
Oh yeah, the Ryan Coogler one.
looks really good, really good.
Yeah,
Two brothers
vampires.
trying to leave their troubles behind. They go home. They return to their hometown. It's a lot of people moving to towns.
Moving to towns.
But that comes out
Yeah,
April 18th.
that one's
The
cool.
Rule of Jenny Penn. What do you think of that?
The Rule of Jenny Pin. What is that?
Um,
That sounds familiar, but I don't know.
that actually, oh, it says it's a 2024 horror film, but it's releases on March 7th of this year. So I don't know what's up
Yeah,
with that.
yeah. I
Mm,
bet you it's because a lot of them like probably went to festivals and and
yeah,
now they got picked up and now they're coming out. Yeah.
yeah. It's got John Lithgow and Jeffrey Rush.
Whoa.
And I think it's about like a care home, like a care home
It's
for
got
elderly.
John Lithgow in it too.
Yeah,
Wait, did you say John Lithgow?
I did.
I thought you said John Lovitz, and I was like, John Lovitz is in this? John Lithgow, which makes more sense. Yes, John Lithgow is in it. Yes,
I
yes.
want to see John Lovitz in a horror movie so
That'd
bad.
be great, right?
Rabbit Trap actually came out already, but I have not been able to find it. Like I haven't been. It's supposed to be on HBO Max, but it looks really good. It's a psychological horror film with Dev Patel and Rosie McEwen.
Oh.
It just looks good. It just
Hmm.
looks good. It's like it looks like folk horror. It's like from the 1930s. It's like a couple in the 1930s who sort of like um, they mess with like an oldie spirit.
Ooh, the Rotten Tomatoes isn't super great, but that
Is
doesn't
it
mean
like that?
anything. The Rotten Tomatoes score isn't great, but I mean that could mean anything.
Yeah. Also, The American Backyard. Have you seen anything about that?
No.
That looks really good. It's an Italian movie. Keep that on your radar because I think you would like it. I
Is it out or not out yet?
it's not. It's March 6th. And
Oh, it's a horror
it's
fantasy.
about it's like it takes place in the 1930s. I think it's all in black and white.
Yeah, it
It's
looks
an
like it.
Italian movie, and it's about like a man who falls in love with a woman during the war, and then he's the war's over, and he goes to like be with her, and he goes to the house, and she's not there,
Hmm.
and that's all I've got. The American Backyard is
Yeah,
what
it's
it's
an
called.
Italian horror fantasy,
Yes,
and it's
directed by Pupi Avati.
Pupi Avati.
Pupi Avati.
And it's coming out this year.
I have March 6th, 2025. It may have already come
Oh,
out overseas.
you're right. I think. Well, it says here March 6th, 2025, Italy, but who knows what that? Yeah. But yeah, because again, it's probably another festival one that. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool. I can't wait.
Yeah, so take a quick.
Oh, I've seen the poster for this. Yes, I have heard of it. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I couldn't find like a good trailer for it, but I found like a couple of like clips. If I'm allowed, I got copyright struck
Oh, did you?
for the last thing for the Netflix thing. So I'm gonna
Oh,
be real careful about what I play.
yeah.
Yeah, but those things, that's what's coming up. Cool, cool. So that's it for me. Thanks so much to everybody who's listening. Please like and subscribe and give me 5 stars, or as many stars as you think I deserve.
Hmm.
Um,
5. You deserve 5.
5.
Don't settle for
Um,
anything less.
yeah, check us out on our social media. Is there anything you want to plug or anything going on?
No, just continue watching. Like you said, like and subscribe.
Yeah, great, awesome. Thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Click.
Click.
Click.